Let me talk about brand here for a little bit. What is brand? Well, brand includes the name, such as the word Nike, which is a brand name, but brand also includes a lot more than just the name. It includes the brand mark, which for Nike is the swoosh, which we're all familiar with. That's the visual logo. But brand is much more than a logo and the name. Brand is everything that you think about when you look at or hear or consider a product and everything tied to the imagery of that product. Brand is really an emotional identity. It's designed to provoke emotion. When a company is designing and managing a brand, they're doing so to kind of create in your mind an image or reaction every time you're exposed to that brand. That's when you hear about the concept of brand management. That includes the process the company uses to help manage, manipulate, or control your emotional reaction to that brand every time you're exposed to it. That's it, part of that is what they would consider the emotional identity. That emotional identity is designed to provoke a specific emotion or specific mental image of everything you think about that product or brand when you're exposed to it. Now, emotions go from hate and panic to love and discipleship. It's a continuum, all the way from one end of the extreme to the other. Different products want to fall at different places along that continuum. That emotion is what drives us to action because, as I've said before, marketing is applied psychology, communications, and economics. Emotions tell us how this field of psychology, the emotions drive us to action. And if a company can control or manage the brand and the emotion tied to that brand, they can help understand and manipulate, not necessarily in a negative way, but they can help manipulate our response, our reactions. So it is managed by the company, or at least attempted to be managed by the company. And some companies are very good at it, such as Nike. Other companies are not so good at it. But the goal of brand and the goal of branding is to create that emotional reaction each time you're exposed to anything that represents that brand. It could be the name in print, it could be the logo, it could be the product, it could be a spokesperson. I mean, the brand name, like I said, is the name itself. It could be the logo that you see the logo on the side of a truck going down the road or on somebody's shirt. All of those things tied together to create in your mind the desired emotional response. Now, the real emotional goal, the goal of the company is to create brand equity. Brand equity is a result of all that emotional connection that they can charge more in the marketplace based on brand preference. Brand preference is a consumer's desire to choose that same brand over other brands in the same category and same product, typically due to previous use. In a perfect world for the seller, there'll be brand insistence, which is the ultimate form of brand preference. Brand preference says there's a desire to choose the same brand. Brand insistence means the consumer will not use any alternative. If you want to think of a couple of good examples, you can think of that die-hard Coke drinker who wouldn't even consider drinking a Pepsi. In fact, they'd rather drink water than drink Pepsi. Or look at that Harley rider who would rather walk than ride any other brand of motorcycle. So that kind of preference leads to brand equity. Brand equity is when a product has more value in the market than the product is really worth due to that emotional connection. It means the consumers are willing to pay more for that particular item compared to other items in the category. And because of that, the company is worth more financially because of the strength of the emotional connections to that brand. So there's a financial cost to the consumer, there's a financial advantage to the manufacturer or retailers of that product. But the product users are happy to do that because in their mind, and perception is reality, that product is worth more than any other similar or alternative product on the market. Now, a product with brand equity is also likely to be pulled into new markets rather than pushed into new markets. And that's very important from a cost standpoint for a manufacturer or offerer who's attempting to expand where a product is offered. Because as those new markets become familiar with the brand, they will encourage the manufacturer or seller to make that product more available. And that's helpful whether you're doing a brand extension, such as Nike's move into sports drink, if they did such a thing, because sports drinks are an unrelated category to apparel, which is Nike's primary product. But if Nike made such a move, the strength of their brand would most likely make a move into sports drinks relatively easy. Didn't say it would be super easy because there's a lot of strongly branded products out there, such as Gatorade and Powerade. But because of Nike's brand and brand equity, if they moved into sports drinks with their own name, it would probably be well received. It also helps, a strong brand also helps with line extensions, which is when a product line is expanded. That happened when Nike added golf several years ago because Nike's only been in golf for maybe 25 years now, which is not a long time in the big picture of golf. So at one point, Nike issued one item into that category. Then they started expanding or extending their line. They started adding hats and shirts and pants and shoes and clubs. Each one of those was a line extension because the company was extending or enlarging the product offering because golf clubs and apparel are similar to other sports equipment they already offered, so it was easy for them to include those new offerings under their brand umbrella. So brand and brand equity leads to lower cost of introducing new products. It leads to companies being able to sell at a higher price, which leads to above average profitability. Well, this is the goal of a company, to be able to sell at a higher price than the competition, and it's a goal of the shareholders to have above average returns. So brand includes the logo you see, it includes the written name of the company, but it also includes so much more than that. It includes the mental image and the emotional reaction that you have when you're exposed to any exposure of that brand. That's the goal of branding. It's to control or manipulate in your head how you respond to that particular item, that particular brand, every time you're exposed to it. And when a company is able to successfully input into your head what they want you to think about that brand, they have a successful brand and they're well on their way to creating brand equity.